In November, the golden days grow cooler and thoughts turn to preparations for winter. For Forsyth County farm families, November is a busy time. There's field corn to pick so the animals will have food for the winter. An old-fashioned corn shucking combines work with socializing when neighbors come to help. When the corn is shucked, it's stored in a bin until needed for food. There are other crops to harvest, such as persimmons and apples to peel for delicious desserts. Some apples find their way into cider for a sweet reminder of autumn's bounty. Pumpkins of all shapes and sizes fill the farm sleigh, bound for delicious fresh pumpkin pies. After turning the tobacco stalks in the field, the farmer is ready to let the disc and mule rest for a few months before spring beckons them out again. With Thanksgiving right around the corner, children learn about the first Thanksgiving, and adults put history into practice as they remember those less fortunate. The kitchen is a busy place at Thanksgiving, brimming with wonderful aromas as the turkey is cooked golden brown, and pies of all descriptions fill the house with fresh baked fragrance. As sure as dessert follows the turkey, so do the football games follow the Thanksgiving meal. At Grove Stadium in 1972, the Wake Forest Band issued its greeting to the fans when Wake played Virginia on the Saturday before Thanksgiving. One Thanksgiving Day stands out in Winston-Salem's history. In 1890, the West End Hotel and Land Company began planning a resort-type hotel and selected the quiet, undeveloped West End section of the city as their site. The Zinzendorf Hotel was built near the present intersection of West 4th and Glade, which was then outside of the city limits. The hotel was 300 feet long and 3 stories high, and built on a knoll overlooking a forest where Winston residents hunted. Sourtown Mountain was visible from the north veranda, and breezes cooled the porches the year round. On Thanksgiving Day in 1892, a fire broke out at the rear of the hotel. A fire wagon pulled by horses came racing, while another was pulled by a streetcar. The frame construction building, covered with cedar shingles, burned quickly, and in 2 hours, the building was leveled. All the guests escaped, and some possessions were salvaged and piled in the park across the street. The Thanksgiving dinner was also salvaged and taken to the area now occupied by the YWCA. The firemen and guests ate together picnic style, and while mourning the loss of the Grand Hotel, were thankful that no lives were lost in the terrible fire. Today, the intersection at West 4th and Glade does not seem so remote from downtown as it did in 1890, and it's hard to imagine forests surrounding the YWCA or Grace Park as a barren piece of land. But it isn't hard to imagine the thankfulness of a town that no lives were lost after such a fire. And this year at Thanksgiving, following a tradition older than anyone can remember, we gather together, thankful for our blessings.